Hello? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? What's up? Welcome back. Yeah, we're just gonna react to some stuff. Um, Happy Monday. I'm bored. It's 7 o'clock right now, and my headphones are breaking. I need a job. I need shit to happen fast. But yeah, so we're gonna just watch YouTube, because why not? All right. Oh, this thing is still not working. Okay, great.
Don't downplay your content in front of other people. Just stand on that shit. I said what I said. You know, it's my title. I meant that shit. Now what,
Facts.
bitch, nigga? That's what I would have said.
Talk
I
to
mean,
me.
whatever you want to say. Um, so, that's your video.
I don't
Also,
take shit
recently,
back.
in kind of the lead up to this conversation that we're having right now, you sent me a message saying, that you love what I do, you have respect for me and what I do, but I'm part of the problem. That was like literally kind of what you said. To sort of kind of give you the floor off the bat, do you want to tell me and the audience what you perceive as the problem that I'm like contributing to, and just like kind of lay that out, and then we can kind of start from there?
Sure. I think the biggest problem and probably the point of my video, I hate this polarization that we're living in right now, the political divide that's present at this moment, and I think I don't know, tackling
God
these
damn it, Dupli, bro.
Like,
He kind of like
I don't know, hearing it.
it's kind of funny because he kind of like jumped into this without actually like thinking about his points. So he kind of just immediately like started messing up. Like I've done this before, where like you're so heated about, you're so upset about something, you don't think about what you have to say before you say. He probably has great you know a great point to make, but like it's being drowned out by the fact that you can't get your point across. So you're gonna have to learn to get that point across way better than what you're doing right now. Okay.
Immediately. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I feel like, to sum up, because I know where this is going. And this is why I get tired. This is why you get tired instantly. It becomes a drag. You don't even want to engage with the conversation no more. Because what are you talking about? No, I get it too. Don't get me wrong. I get what you're saying. But there's been like this idea, right, that people that are more left leaning, right, need to be more open minded and more engaging with ideas that they might not adhere to make people feel more comfortable talking to them. But
I don't know if it's left leaning. I don't know if it's. I mean, like maybe in his experience it was left leaning, but for me, in my experience, it was definitely people saying what he's saying to right leaning people. But maybe it just depends on where you're from.
when you've heard like the same talking points like over and over, and it's not new, this is the same shit I've been hearing since like
Battle of the
early 20.
Skinheads is crazy. Y'all see that? That's actually insane.
We are halfway into the 2020s almost. When you hear it so many times, it's like, I gotta wait for you to get to the point that I already know that you're about to say, just so I can say the same thing to you that I said to the last nigga that said the exact same shit from 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, the perspective that you have is not new at all. And you arguing it like, oh, this is some newfound knowledge. Nigga.
This is interesting because for me, I think like even if it's the same thing that people has been saying all the time, it doesn't. It like maybe there's merit in them constantly saying it, right? Maybe there's a reason why we haven't moved on from this conversation yet. You know what I mean? Like this is a conversation that is there's no right answer here, right? Like at the end of the day, right? There's no right answer. Like nobody's right and nobody's wrong in this situation. It's just like you believe this and I believe the other thing. Like as simple as that. There's no, you know.
Niggas, I'm about to put niggas onto the perspective that has never been said before. It's been said.
A lot of aggression and a lot of conviction. I understand where you're coming from. You've been doing this for a long time. I understand it's probably fucking tough for you. Like, I have seen all the haters and all the people.
Listen. I'm not having a tough time. I'm fine.
Okay, cool,
like,
cool. I just
okay. Is the polarization the problem? To sort of like get to the
yes, and really okay. Let me just finish.
Okay.
Encouraging and doubling down on that polarization, you know, with aggressive comments and even I don't know. Let me read a tweet. This is the tweet you wait. I don't know. I'll just quote it. Like okay. I don't know what.
Just tell me what I said generally. I'll tell you.
When you make a think piece, but you can't think.
Right.
Okay. How should I feel about that?
What the fuck?
Like, what is? Why are you asking him how you should feel about it? You should tell him why you feel about that. That's the point of having a conversation. That's why we're talking about it. What do you mean when you make a think piece, but you can't think? Like, I think everybody has the right to make their own think piece. Like, you saying, like, I feel like I get what Dupley is trying to say, but he's very much, like, kind of starstruck, I think. Also, he's nervous because he didn't think his points through. But he does have a little bit of a point with the fact that when he's saying it in an aggressive manner, or he's saying that Kanye can't think, or he's saying that people who make, you know, like a certain person can make a think piece, but they can't think, which is in a way like kind of, that's just mean spirited. And like, you don't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just say that they made a think piece, but like, the think piece was not based in evidence. It wasn't based in surveys. It wasn't based in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just off the dome think piece, which is fine if you want to do that, but you're open to heavy criticism when you do it like that, right? Like surveys and tests are open to criticism. So what do you think a think piece that it comes straight off the dome with no thought in mind, that's also going to be heavily instigated and heavily, you know, combated. So I'm just,
come on, dog. You basically you got like your tweet hurt my feelings. Why are we talking about a tweet? Like, bro, come on now, dude. It's not. It's like if this is gonna be the area at which you're critiquing somebody, like you don't like the way I said something, so like you're gonna dismiss what I actually.
He wasn't prepped for this debate. Literally, that's what I was saying. Like that's what I say. He wasn't prepped for it. He didn't prep for it. He just went straight into it without thinking about his points. You gotta think about your points.
Actually said because of the way it came off to you versus the person.
I don't trust white niggas with buzz cuts anyway. Damn.
That you're probably defending here that said objectively worse and more harmful things. Are we about to get into this like J. Cole?
Also this person says over here, anti-Semitism isn't something that can be talked about in sweet / nice terms. I disagree. You can talk about it. However, you still being wrong in the eyes of society is still going to be a fact in this matter. But you can be nice about it, right? But at the same time, it's like people are going to still look at you weird, even if you are nice about it. You know what I'm saying? But you can do that. You can talk about it in a nice, cordial, sweet term. But people still going to be like, yeah, well, we don't agree with that. So let's, you know what I'm saying? Like
esque no-name territory where I understand what you're saying. I just don't like how you're saying it. And to a degree,
so
I could
wasn't prepared for this. I don't know
understand somebody like J. Cole saying something like that. You are obviously going to receive more people or have more people open to your message when you soften it a bit or when you're not as confrontational or as aggressive with it. But
yeah.
Should that be the responsibility solely on the people that have the information and none be on the people who are seeking it? if you're genuinely a seeker of the information, I feel like there is some level of compassion that you're going to give to people that have been asked or accosted with the same thing mad times.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get butthurt if I see somebody a bit more aggressive, if I ask them, well, what are the dangers that your potential, like your group specific, what are the dangers that they face?
Yeah.
And it's just something, it's just an easy Google or some shit like that.
I mean, I get what Sean's trying to say, but at the same time, it's like, this is a personal. So you can Google it, sure, but like, I feel like for me, it's much more of a personal understanding when somebody physically tells you what they think about what you asked them, you know, instead of looking it up on Google or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, it doesn't have like a personal feel to it. I want to have a personal conversation about it. Let's talk seriously. Let's have a conversation about this, right? Instead of me just Googling it and then not having a conversation, and then your Google is possibly based off of misinformation. So I just go off of what people tell me, because 9 times out of 10, most people don't have a reason to lie, right? Especially when it's a serious topic. But you know, obviously, there's gonna be outliers. You know, like 9 out of 10 times they're not, but that 10th time somebody may lie, but that's not something I need to like, you know, be sad about or be upset about.
Like, I'm asking you some shit that I could find out in literally 0.3 seconds if I literally just took the time to say, do I want to bother somebody with this, or do I just want to remain ignorant to it the whole time?
I guess if that's how you want to feel about it.
I'm just because what do you expect people to do? Just kindly just act as a teacher to you your whole life, and
What's wrong with that? Is that an issue? I don't see how that's a problem. Like, you're trying to learn something. Everybody learns in their own way, right? Like, I don't see what the problem is with that.
grown man? I don't get that.
I mean, to each their own. Like, if you feel like you have enough information by just Googling shit, that's fine. Like, obviously use Google, but like at the same time, or use like to look up stuff. But at the same time, you gotta be willing to ask people questions. Like, talk about it. Have the conversation.
You are a fully grown adult capable of researching everything that you look into. And you're upset at a nigga tone that doesn't, like,
Yeah, the tone part is interesting.
I feel like we end up getting mad at the wrong thing and you focus on this instead of this. But
Yeah.
I do agree that if you alter your tone a little bit, you can grab more people, sure.
I agree.
That's fair.
How should you? Well, I mean, it's definitely.
That's just not. That shouldn't be the main point, though.
Yeah.
Making fun of your video. Yeah. I mean, do you want to know why I would say something like that, or?
Okay, sure.
I just feel like you made a lot of terrible points throughout the video. I'm having a hard time sort of seeing how you feel polarization is necessarily the issue here, because, I mean, you've said and contributed to polarization in your video in your own way. I mean, let me just kind of pull this out of the closet and get a little direct here. I mean, this is kind of a different position you're taking here now that we're sort of on stream than you are in the video. In the video, you say very bluntly, the issue, the problem, the greater problem here is that you feel like there is an absolute inability to give shitty people any sort of recognition. Is that the problem that we're kind of facing societally right now?
I think it's more about claiming to be an activist while having counterintuitive actions.
That's a good question.
What do you need people to be perfect to?
No, you don't need to be perfect, but I do think that he without sin shall cast the first stone. I'm not a Christian, but that's kind of a life rule to live by. Like, if you don't have any issues, then it's okay to shit on other people. But if you believe you have issues, then why are you shitting on someone else? You know what I mean? Like, why are you? You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like you should be doing that. Like, I personally, I don't. It's fun to like laugh at stuff and think, oh, that's funny or that's dumb. Why would you do that? But at the same time, like, everybody lives their own life. You know what I mean? Everybody has their some people are slow up on the intake. It is what it is. It's not their fault. That's just the way they were either raised, or that's the way that they were they're just wired, genetically. So I just feel like it's like you can't but it's okay. I think there's levels to it. I think partially because if you talk about, say, hey, stop being anti-Semitic, cool, right? We all should agree on that, right? Same thing as stop being racist in general. Don't be racist, which means that you actively yourself have to make sure that you're not also engaging in those racist remarks, anti-Semitic remarks, even if you don't realize that they are. Like if somebody tells you that, you should be aware. You be like, oh, okay, they believe that this is. So let's work on that because I can't be an activist for not being racist if I accidentally or not even don't even know that I'm being. Like you gotta work on yourself more. You can't just I don't know, like you can't shit on somebody and then also have flaws yourself and then act like you don't have flaws. You know what I'm saying?
To go against certain ideas.
But I'm not saying Fantano does that. I'm just saying in general, like that's just a general like thing.
Jump to 3300. This made me laugh for a good minute. Probably the best part of this whole video.
Yeah, am I missing? I don't think I'll be missing a good portion of this. Depending, not perfect, but it's a space for criticism.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can critique things, but like, why does that matter? Like, why? What is the relevance to somebody critiquing it?
It matters. I mean, everybody's opinion
that like the
matters.
way you came off is just makes it feel like you shouldn't do shit if you've done shit. If that makes any sense.
You shouldn't critique somebody
Like,
that's done shit if you've done shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, you should be willing to help the said person. You help somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think that what they're saying is wrong, like you should be willing to be like, okay, this guy obviously needs some help. It's okay. We're not going to shit on him. We're going to try to help him be a better person. That takes a community, but it's less about community nowadays and more about individualism because America sucks. But I'm not gonna get into that.
If you've done shit that's wrong, you shouldn't do anything to improve what's wrong. Is the perspective you sound like you're taking right now.
Pictures of teen girls, right? Let's say that.
Oh my, how do we get here?
Let's say that fucking guy, because he's mad he can't do that on Twitch, starts his own kick. Does that not then in your mind create an argument? Well, maybe we should be more lenient about this stuff because he went up.
Point and Fantano shot it down. Like, why would MLK stop trying to improve racial equality because he cheated on his wife?
He said
That's
that?
insane.
There's no way he said that.
That's kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny.
He's often created his own platform anyway. No, that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't mean that we should start having a softer approach with that shit.
The demand for a site such as that would be much lower if you were just to ban extremist people who are actually like extremely directly harmful to society, like Nick Fuentes, like Alex Jones, than if you were to like ban people like, I don't know, Ben Shapiro. Like
nobody's banning Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, when did Ben Shapiro get banned?
He didn't say they was banning. He never said.
He's making it seem like there's this crusade against.
He didn't say that. He's just giving an example. See, that's the thing also I don't like about this stuff, because when you're trying to explain something and then they like, well, when did this happen? No, you're just straw manning at this point. Don't straw man. I'm not saying that he wasn't saying that Ben Shapiro got banned. He was just saying that people they can still get banned, right? And then other people be okay. And it's like, why is that even a thing? Like, they should just ban extremist people altogether, right? So like that's a whole thing in itself. I don't even know who's right, who's wrong here. I'm just saying, like,
red pill or right wing content is still very much so alive and thriving, even on YouTube. It might not be as monetizable or as profitable, I don't know, but it's doing just fine, like almost everywhere.
Okay, or
even trying to. I mean, as noxious as Ben Shapiro is,
Destiny.
But the thing is, like, the thing is, Destiny, in some of his worst moments, has advocated for and voiced very loudly some pretty heinous and violent shit.
Like what?
It would be a really stupid idea to repeat it on my stream right now, which I don't want to get banned from. So I'm not going to walk into that fucking rake, you moron.
Damn.
It's just like, why
we all of a sudden shit talking?
When do we get here though?
Like, come on, Fantano is just like Come on, bro. Like, we're having a civil conversation right now. All of a sudden, you called him a moron. Like, what happened?
Like you can go and look it up.
I mean, maybe the way that this type of shit comes off, I think maybe he might think that there's some type of connection between people who make content like this and people who watch Destiny. It might just be his assumption. So maybe he shouldn't have brought it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he'd be talking about either. I don't watch Destiny, so I wouldn't know.
Don't hold on though.
No. I'm making.
Why are we doing this?
He said, "Hold on, wait, no, you can't, no."
You're conflating moderate. You're conflating moderate points of view with extremism. I'm telling you that. Listen,
So
it does. Yes, it doesn't.
That's insane.
No, it's not, because here's my fucking point. Here's my point. And you're not listening to it. And you're not putting two and two together.
Damn.
The reason he's an extremist, it's not because I think his political points are
Hold
so
it,
far outside the
Buster,
open
got
window
it.
that they can't be considered. Let's say a moderate position on, give me the most moderate Destiny position that you can think of.
Okay, I don't care about Destiny.
I don't
That's
care. I don't care about Destiny. Why are we talking about this?
The open murder. So
Okay,
that's
I
not
find that
that's
hard to
that's
believe. I find that hard to
that's an
believe.
example. There's literally
He's
video.
really got to
He's-
convince him of this.
And not even necessarily for political points. It was like, I don't know, a nip slip or something like that. It was.
How did we How did
Where
you
are we
get
going
here
with
from
this?
asking about Kanye West? I don't understand.
Why are you randomly talking about Destiny? What the fuck is going on?
I feel like people just took the shit that he said like way too deep and tried to link it to so many other things that it has like obviously parallels to but no direct connection to. Why the fuck are y'all talking about
What are we talking about streamers? all of a sudden?
Destiny from Kanye West? I get that there's parallels in all of this, but like making like politicizing, I guess the sentiment that you shouldn't be anti-Semitic is just crazy to me. Why we have to
Like,
get into a political
not that
conversation
serious.
based off of a moral obligation against, or what should be a moral obligation against bigotry? I don't know. Why do you think that has to be a controversial thing? I don't know.
This is why it's hard to have conversations with people, because for me, it's like at least people who aren't willing to have the conversation, because especially because like if I have a conversation with you and I bring up an example, the problem is that for some reason being able to strawman is such like a gotcha thing, and it's just baked into our conscious or subconscious as a debate tool and a debate tactic, to the point where it's ruined all forms of having a conversation or a debate. You making a straw man has nothing to do with my conversation that I'm having. You just you bringing it up and then switching the conversation to a whole other topic is ruining the conversation. Let's talk about the conversation. Why are you straw manning? And then because we start straw manning, the other person's gonna start straw manning them. And then now both of us are straw manning each other, and now we're just completely off topic because you decide to straw man for no reason, when that had nothing to do with the situation.
I don't know how you get here. I don't.
I don't know how.
And this is the
that's
these
how
are
they
the
got
this
here.
is the thing that
That's how they got here, right? Because then when you strawman, the other person can also have a chance to move the goalpost, or even if they're not moving the goalpost, the other person that did strawman moves the goalpost themselves, right? So eventually somebody is going to move the goalpost because you started strawmanning, and because we're having a different conversation now, the goalpost is different. And then you're all of a sudden like, hey, why are you moving the goalpost? No. You started with the straw man. So now I had to make a whole nother goalpost for that straw man that you just made. And because I made the goalpost for the straw man that you made, you're still thinking about the other goalpost that we made. But we're not talking about that goalpost anymore because you decided to straw man me. And now we're at the goalpost of this straw man that you brought up. So it's fucking annoying, bro. Like,
you end up getting into, like, you have a conversation with someone who doesn't want to be informed, but they want to argue. How do you argue when you don't know what you're talking about? Against a Drake hater, felt fun. This seems lame. Yeah, I saw that somebody linked that one to me too. The Los Polos one, where they're just arguing opinions. That's fun. That's funny. That's stupid. it's funny. Like
Yeah, arguing
they're
opinion
not.
is always funny.
It's not taken so seriously. This is like,
They're trying to take it seriously. And
why
it's
would
like,
you say Kanye is wrong for being anti-Semitic? You don't see how that has a connection to this. Like why would you say anything if you're not perfect? Like what? What do you mean? Well, Los don't. From what I understand, Los not like taking himself serious. He's not that
I
deep
swear
in.
debate
Yeah.
videos are the
Los is
worst
just a
types of
troll,
videos.
like, he's
Calls
just funny.
IT does nothing and no one ever tries to change.
I don't like
what if you love her?
debate content generally because it trivializes the overall issue of whatever people are talking about or what they're debating about and makes it more of a no, I'm right and you're wrong
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's true.
not about that. I don't like seeing, for instance, like white folks debate on black issues, which I've seen happen a lot
It is
on
happening a lot.
spaces like Twitch or places like YouTube, where they'll go into these like super.
Debate. Somebody said that debates are basically useless. They're not. They're very useful. The problem is that people don't know how to have a debate anymore, right? So they don't know how to like keep their emotions in check when they're having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the problem is like they bring their emotions into it, even if they think they're being non-emotional about it, and it's fine because that's a human thing. But at the same time, you need to realize you have to check that. You got to be well aware of the fact that, hey, I'm bringing emotion into this. Let me not bring emotion into this and try to understand what they're saying, right? And then because I understand what they're saying, I can now ask questions based on what they're saying because I understand what they're telling me, right? But that only works if both of you are not in cahoots, but like both of you are cordially understanding each other, with the sense of you both want to understand where each other is coming from. A lot of times nowadays, the people don't want to have that. People don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to actually they don't want to understand each other. They just want to just argue their point and then get along with their day. And it's like you're just arguing just to argue at that point. I'm not fucking doing this with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Specific scenarios, having zero experience or ties to what they're talking about, and it devolves into you're wrong, I'm right rhetoric as opposed to talking about the situation. In their fan base, their audience, they do the same thing. They make it about, no, this is my streamer, no, this one's right, no, this one's right. I hate this about like political or politicized commentary in any regard, because it's like, dude, you know that the people you're talking about aren't like pawns on a chessboard. Like, they're real.
Yeah.
They're not like, what do you call those things? They're not like debate bro tactics or gotcha moments. They're like real life people.
Yeah.
And y'all are treating this like, oh yeah, this guy made a great point here about this. What about the people he's talking about?
Yeah.
I get it. You got to talk about people. I understand. But it trivializes the overall issue to levels or strong levels of uncomfortability for me, to a point of being unwatchable. I can't even consume that. Why would you do that to yourself? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sure there's people that enjoy it, that want to be debaters in the future or something
Debates
like that,
have
but
become people
I don't like
to
that.
Respond instead of understanding and
Exactly. Bag Incorporated or something. Debates have become people engaging to respond instead of understanding and taking each other's opinions into perspective. Exactly. I just said this. Like, it's like you lost the plot. You lost the plot of what a debate is supposed to be. Okay. They got the same fade. They do. They have the same haircut and everything. It's crazy.
taking each other's
You're like two sides of the same coin.
opinions into perspective.
Two white people talking about a black guy. Crazy.
yeah, but that's from people that want to have the conversation.
Oh
It's
my
very
God, I
rarely
just
that.
realized.
Huge demand for this alternative platform.
Listen. I'm gonna hit a bit of a reset button here, because I'm more interested in some of your opinions here about like art and what you said in your video. To be honest,
All right.
I feel like we've gotten into the weeds of insanity here a little bit.
Yeah.
And I just want to like ask you here to kind of get to, because I see a lot of what you're saying in this video as kind of like an analog for a lot of Kanye fans feel around my Vultures 1 review and how people feel about the record generally in kind of a negative way. And you seem to, again, kind of like take issue with this idea that he's not being given credit despite the fact that he's a generational artist, and and you yourself acknowledge he said bad things and he's gone too far. And
the links in the description also said he's directly contributing to the rising number.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying any of that. I'm not. You've acknowledged that he's done and said bad things. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to understand from your point of view is like, to what extent in your mind do we like owe it to the art or owe it to the artist to acknowledge what we perceive to be their greatness, their artistry, their whatever, regardless of how bad they or the messaging in the artist is, or the messaging in the art is? Because
I'm gonna say this about separating the art from the artist personally, because I'm just gonna put this out there as like, I genuinely think that if you are able to separate the art from the artist, it's okay to do so. Like, it's not a bad thing to do so. If you can do that, go ahead. Right? Some people can't. I genuinely try to, right? Because even though like the art is an offshoot of the artists themselves, the music that they make is much more long lasting. So it has to, I don't know, it's interesting, right? It's kind of like sometimes you can separate the art from the artist, but sometimes you can't, right? It just depends on the artist. Like Kanye, it's kind of hard to separate the art from the artist if he's talking about harmful rhetoric in his music, but at the same time, like, you can also argue that it's hard to separate the art from the artist when it comes to like rap in general or hip hop. They always talk about shooting guns, gang banging and all that stuff. Like, that's it. Like, and if they actually do that in real life, then like, they're true to their art. Which it's a whole other conversation to have, but it just depends on the artist. It depends on how you feel about the artist. If you think you can separate the art from the artist, then go ahead. If you think you can't, then don't. I mean, it is what it is, right? Have the experience of listening to an artist is a soul experience. It is a singular experience for each and every one, even each and every person, each and every one of us. It's a singular experience. We can't really experience it in the same way. Two people can't experience the song the same way. Like, let's be honest, right? You can't interpret the song the same way because you live two different lives. So in order for you to separate the art from the artist, you have to have a certain mindset about the artist and about the art. Because, like for me, because it's like you can't, I can't separate the art from the artist if the song is bad, right? If I genuinely think the song is bad, then I can't, like, it's kind of hard to separate, you know what I mean? Unless I don't really know who this artist is because I've never listened to them before, right? And then it's like, okay, well, I don't even know the artist, so I just know this one song, like Ice JJ Fish. I don't know the artist. I don't know that guy. I don't listen to his music. I don't even know if he still makes music. I just know that one song he made that was really fucking funny, and that was it. If he's a horrible person in real life, I don't know, nor do I care. Like, honestly. So,
hypothetically, let's say, like, I don't know, there was like, I run a YouTube channel, I review music, and I stumble across what's possibly the most racist band ever. Their content is even full of like violent imagery and advocating for like, hanging people, so on and so forth. But you know what, the production goes hard, and you know what, that Peggy beat on the record is insane. Like, do I owe it to the album to like talk about it and praise it?
Like, you can do both. Like, you can be like, hey, like, this album is really fucking good. Like I said, it depends on the person. Like, you can be like, yeah, this album is banger, but the person that made this album, yeah, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, R. Kelly is a good example of like, yeah, like, he makes some good fucking music, but like, that nigga in jail for something I'm not finna say. So like, yeah, I don't support R. Kelly, but I like his music. when he's not saying some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's a good singer. You can give them props with. We can give somebody props and also shit on them at the same time. Like that's okay. You can do that. That's fine. Like you don't need to be one or the other. You can do both.
And whatever, just
No.
because like I think it sounds kind of good.
That's an instance of where the problematic opinions are in the art. So that's.
But Kanye trivializing anti-Semitism and saying that he's not racist, he just has a preference and says
Well,
that
you
his
don't
wife
think
is
that's
a
a slippery?
reference.
You don't think that's a slippery slope?
Well, wait a second.
Huh?
You don't think trivializing anti-Semitism and kind of laughing off his anti-Semitic comments as if they aren't anti-Semitic is not going too far? After he
I
said,
think there's
"I'm a
a big
Nazi
difference
and I love
between that
Hitler,"
and like
and so on
talking
and so
about
forth.
murdering people and hanging people. I think it's.
Well, yeah, okay.
What? Wait, oh, they lost me there.
It's just like you don't have a way in, bro. Like, how do you tell?
It depends on how good it is. Yeah, somebody in chat said it depends on how good it is.
Oh,
That's good. I mean, if you think the music is that good to where you can separate the art from the artist, then cool. Do what you gotta do. But like, everybody's different. Like, there shouldn't be a overall like everybody needs to separate the art from the artist, or there shouldn't be overall like everybody needs to not separate the art from the art. Who cares? Who cares if you separate the art from the artist? I don't care. Personally, I sometimes separate the art from the artist, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I feel that day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you telling a nigga to watch their tone as they're explaining to you how things grow and fester, while you basically get to take the position that it's not as bad as it could have been. Where do I go with a person? Like, how do I get anywhere with this?
yeah, comparisons is insane. We need to.
It's like this dude doesn't believe that, like, it's like he thinks that racism starts at like its hot, at like its peak, and unless you do a hate crime, you're not truly racist. You're not truly a bigot or something like that.
I don't like. For me, that's not how I look at it personally. But like, I get if that's how he takes it. But for me, I'm like, if the song isn't, it's promoting bad stuff in itself, or if I can listen to a song and I'm like, okay, I can rock with this. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know, but the artist is doing some heinous shit, and it's like, I can't fuck with the artist. Like I said, I can't fuck with the artist, but I can fuck with the art. Okay, so that's the separation for me. It just depends. It depends on the artist.
That.
There's some artists that I can do that, and some that I can't.
Like, everybody starts off at Hitler basically in his mind or something like that, and they don't have a growth phase. They don't like have a seed planted in them that, you know, begins to start stereotypes and go through, you know, little by little how we get to this place and how we get to this stereotype and how this group of people gets blocked out from here. No, it's just, unless it's the extremist, most worst racist act that you could think of, like, I'm not entertaining the fact that it is a problem within the music. I don't get that. Like, do you not realize that it starts somewhere? Or
it does start somewhere.
Okay, that's, which I think is fair to an extent. I just want to understand, like, where the border is. Like, how much racial hatred and anti-Semitism on a song or a record is too much for you? Like, if it's just one bar, is it okay? If it's just the chorus and the verses don't have it in there, like, can we let it slide?
I don't interpret any of his bars to be directly anti-Semitic. They may be referring to other people labeling him as anti-Semitic, and I don't want to be put in a position where I'm defending a fucking Nazi. Okay.
I mean, that's what you're doing.
I get what Dupley is trying to say. The problem is that people are going to look at him as that anyway, because people can't use their brains to think for shit. But at the same time, like, if you can't back up what you're saying, then it's kind of hard to, like, you know, like, it's gonna be tough on you. Let's be real, because you could genuinely believe that you're not defending an actual Nazi. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if Kanye is one. I don't think he is, but he said some anti-Semitic shit before. So it's kind of like I can't defend Kanye. I can't. I'm not going to. I love his music, but I'm not going to. You know, so it is what it is. It just depends. Actually, it depends on what it is. I'm willing to defend anybody, but like, it just depends on what the situation is.
So, like, do I say it's okay? I'm not gonna make you feel better about the position that you're taking. Like, why do you want somebody else who's against your position to try to make they gotta cushion you for the position that you're taking, but you also get to not stand on the position that you're taking. Like, that's just what it is. What do you don't get to stand on both sides? Like, no, I'm not saying he's right, but like, is he wrong though? But I'm not saying he's not wrong, but I'm not saying that he's right either. But I'm not saying that, like, give me some wiggle room. No, you gotta,
like, they're just like, if anything, they're just confused, because it's one of those things, like, somebody who's a big fan of an artist and they end up doing something wrong, and you want to help this person. You don't want this person to be seen in a negative light, so you try to help them. But the problem is that you are, if that person is doing something that society deems as bad, you're going to be lumped in with them if you're trying to defend them. Even if you have good points, it doesn't matter. They're still going to dump you in that, because, you know, the mob is going to be a mob. That's just how mobs work. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we've all agreed that we don't like somebody, anybody that defends them, sadly, is just gonna be lumped in with them, you know, and, like, put on a stick too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so, because sad. It's public psychosis,
like, stand on some shit.
social psychosis.
I'm not saying that I respect Ye or his position, but I at least know where he's coming from. I know what I'm getting. You feel me? If I hear his music and I hear something crazy in it,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Niggas like this don't want to take a position. And then they like, oh, well, how could you say that about me? This is what you're advocating for. You're standing in this circle and asking not to be seen in that circle.
I'm not defending Kanye in any way, but the point being is that like, it's a big difference. You can't conflate the two. Like, I have his bars written down actually.
Well, again, specifically, I'm not trying to say they're exactly the same. I'm trying to understand for you personally, how far is too far? And what I'm guessing is, you know, again, Kanye saying, in light of the anti-Semitic comments that he's made, and as you said, you know, contributing maybe to this greater flow of hate crimes against Jews, laughing that off, saying like, yeah, man, I keep a few Jews on the staff. Yeah, man, I'm crazy and bipolar and anti-Semitic. Ha ha ha. You know, being like, oh, how could you say I'm anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch. Bah, 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 bah. Like, obviously for you, that's not too far. How much further than that could you go to where?
But that's not even, like, that's not even that insane of a thing to say, like, because rappers have said stuff like that before. They didn't say Jewish, but, like, they've said, you know, they're not racist, you know what I mean, they're not this, they're not that, they've done, you know what I mean, like, they're, like, the idea and the mentality has always been there in rap, or in people defending themselves, you know what I'm saying? This is no different. You know what I mean? I just don't understand why this one is much worse than if somebody who was, you know, racist against black people saying the exact same thing. Like, all of a sudden, I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
Or you're just like, okay, man, he's actually doing too much.
Thoughts?
Like,
Fantano blazing you on Twitter a few days ago.
I didn't see it. I still don't know what he said, but somebody said it was in reference to me being beautiful, which I agree.
Genuine question.
Okay,
why do you think Kanye didn't get this level of backlash when he said the 400 years stuff and when he was openly supporting Trump?
That is interesting. He, like, that I mean, he did get a lot of backlash for that, but it was, I don't know why it's different now. I think maybe this is the tipping point, possibly, also because I don't know what it is. I don't know. And I don't want to say that it's because we're talking about Jews that people are so, like, up in arms about it. Because it's obviously a very messed up situation for them. But at the same time, it's like, if he was being racist to black people, then we're just not going to say that much about it. Like, I you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's kind of it's kind of interesting. You know what I mean?
From what I remember, a lot of people either didn't care or looked past it pretty easily.
I don't think it was looked past pretty easily. I think that a lot of it is rooted somewhat within like racial ideology, and some people feeling like Kanye had more of a right to say that about black people given that he's black. But it wasn't
Yeah.
flat out almost denying that it happened and for what purpose. It was just really shitty takes about black people for the most part. It's not really always about
Yeah.
Kanye himself. It's more so about the people that co-sign him, the ones that are of sound enough mind to go get the information but refuse to push whatever narratives and agendas that they have. You feel me? Would old Shawn review vultures? Probably. I don't know how old Shawn you mean though.
I feel like you would.
Old Shawn to like, if you ask an 18-year-old Shawn, probably. And again, you could say that, you know, black people are the butt of the joke. I'm not saying that they're not, but Kanye didn't come off like a hater of black people, even though his takes were extremely ignorant and misguided and were just flat out wrong. The anti-Semitic shit, he's very clearly, you know, trying to make it so.
Like, the problem is I have is that I've been like I'm kind of two minds, because on one hand, Kanye has talked about how he's been in the industry for a long time. So he probably knows a lot of bad Jewish people who are just like morally like bankrupt and like horrible people. But the problem is that if he goes around saying that he hates all of them, that's an issue, right? That's the problem. It's like you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like so there's got to be a level of like differentiation. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just like, even if he should at least he should have been able to say like, I've had bad experiences with Jewish people in the past, and that's why I tend to not hang around them. And that would have been fine. You would have been okay with that take for the most part, because that's fine. I mean, that's just a real life experience. But he just randomly started saying that he just hates all Jewish people. I'm like, what the yo, what the fuck? It's the same thing as like a white person that goes around saying he hates all black people. But like, if he's had genuine bad experiences with black people, then that's his experience. But the problem is like, you can't go around generalizing, saying that everybody in this group is just as bad as the people that you experience, because it's not the case. It's the same thing with men and women saying that they hate the opposite gender, even though they've never met 4 billion people of the opposite gender. So that they just had bad experiences with a guy or a woman, and they just say, "Oh my god, I hate all of them. These all suck." You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just generalizing, and you're making the situation worse. Like, which is what some of them want to do.
You understand that this group, I perceive them to have all the power. I perceive them to be in control of everything. These are dangerous people. You shouldn't be around them. And Maya, I'm not saying that you're wrong. But the shit that he said wasn't indicative of something that I would say is that should make people feel like, oh yeah, he hates black people. I wouldn't say that about him. It just didn't come off the same way. It just didn't. You feel like Fantano, his argument falls short. You can't listen to his music. I don't think he ever said that. When he's listened to and reviewed Nazi music before, I think it's important to critically analyze Kanye's music, especially during these times. That's fair. I don't know who you might be referring to. I'm sure it probably exists. He's probably reviewed too much shit to not review somebody that's at the very least on the same level as some of the shit that Kanye said. I don't think that means that he holds the position. Like, if you asked him, like somebody else just said, would old Shawn listen to Kanye? And I told you yes, old Shawn probably would have. If you asked him, you probably get the same response. If old Fantano would re-review whoever you're talking about that was a Nazi, he'd probably say, nah, I probably wouldn't. I could see if this was like maybe a week or two ago, like a month ago, making it seem like somebody's being inconsistent because they grew from a perspective that they once had, I don't think is a fair assessment of just naturally coming into new information or naturally coming into a new perspective or growing your own. I don't think it's really fair to do that. Like, I wouldn't take the opinions of some white kid about black people seriously, of them saying stupid shit on Reddit or Twitter, and they made those comments when they were 12 years old and they're 25 now, fighting for racial equality now, and they were saying a whole bunch of crazy shit 10 to 15 years ago.
Exactly. Like, that's the problem, because people overall, like, it's interesting to me because I think overall the general public the people that are online anyway, they don't like to separate. They don't like to understand that people grow over time. They don't want to think that because they want to hate something. So because they want to hate something, they're going to want to say that this person did this in the past, so this person must be this way now, even though that's not the case. Even like this person said this heinous racist shit in the past, he must still be racist now, even though this same person is going around saying, hey, don't be racist, that's a bad thing to do, I'm fighting against racism. And they're like, nah, but you said this racist thing in the past. Like, okay, but I was young though. I was younger. I didn't know what I was talking about because I didn't live life enough. Like, it's that simple. Like, what else do you want them to say? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it just seems like a really reductive way to look at people.
Exactly.
And it goes back into his point, if that's what he was making, or somebody else earlier said about, oh, well, you haven't been perfect, so you can't ask for better from the world. Like, that's a really stupid point. Kanye's a terrible person to review. Also, Fantano. Like, look at this shit. Look.
Great.
How old is he in this video? What, like 25? You think somebody will hold to the same? They would hold themselves to the same standard or something they said a 15-year or however long this was ago? This video's not even a 720.
Right, like,
this is the highest quality of video that you could get for this time. That shows you when this video was made. I'm not saying that it was good that he reviewed them here. I'm just saying it's probably not good to maintain the position 10, 15 years later when you've come into contact with so much new information. It's the self-righteousness overtones on both sides that what? You think it's self-righteous to say that it's not good to
What's up, Vasta Lord? This video is about Kanye and whether or not you can separate the art from the artist.
Sign Kanye's ideas, or is something that prohibits me from listening to the music objectively. You could show me a clip of anybody. I don't like the political commentary space. You could show me a clip of Destiny from I don't know how long ago. You could show me a clip of him from 10 years ago, and I would be charitable to the idea that his views might not be the exact same as they were a decade ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's any person. You show me somebody at 20 and then you show me them at 30, I'm going to assume that they're not the exact same person. If they are, I would say that that's bad.
Just referencing the drama outside the art. For me personally, and I want to make this perfectly clear, I don't want to hold anybody else to this standard that you must separate the art from the artist. I don't believe in that at all. I think you should be free to do whatever you want. If you want to boycott the art, sure, do that. I think it's cool. I think it comes from a good place, a moral place. But I just think it's unfair. It's unfair to try to force that on other people, and unproductive to force that on other people.
But just arguing with other people and having
but nobody's forcing that.
I agree.
From what I've seen, people have said and made their opinion on the record known and have been attacked by people who disagree with them. Not that the people who refuse to listen to it, or the people who don't want to engage with it, or the people who don't think it's that great, or the people who have a stance against anti-Semitism, they're not going out of their way to talk to Kanye West fans. It's the other way around. Something that people have been saying is that people don't have time.
I think it's a mix of both. There are Kanye West fans talking to haters, and then there's haters going to Kanye West fans who are just chilling, and then they just start. It's a back and forth. It's a mix of back and forth. It always will be.
Care about the shit that Kanye is.
That's what anything really
actually saying. They just want to listen to the music. But y'all can't also be the same people who claim to not have time enough to listen to the ideas that are within the music and also be the same ones that are arguing and advocating for why Kanye West should be able to do whatever he wants against people that say, I think his ideas are harmful? How are you, in one breath, too busy to care about what he's talking about, but not busy enough to not argue with people online about those same things that you say you don't care about?
I mean, anti-Semitism should be treated no differently than other races. I mean, that's just facts. I mean, I don't even know why there's a different name for it. It's just racism. Like, you're just being like racist. Like, what?
I don't get that. Fake food with the 3 months, appreciate you. Like, I don't understand. Nobody's attacking you. Yeah, y'all are on completely different sides. Not on different sides of the internet, but y'all aren't even on the same side of things. I said that I wasn't going to talk about Kanye when niggas were literally in the chat. Y'all remember when we were there? When the album came out, I said I'm not going to listen to it. The whole stream. The entire stream. Listen to Kanye, listen to Kanye, listen to Kanye, listen to Kanye, listen to Kanye. Whole stream.
Yeah. They was mobbing.
I say I'm not listening to it. I post a video about it. Niggas attacking me for not listening to it. Niggas posted a TikTok about it. Niggas attacking me for not listening to it. How could you do this? Why would you do that? If I said I'm not listening and I gave my reason, why is that not good enough? I'm still being attacked.
That's completely good enough. I agree.
Not that it's that deep. I don't give a fuck. Y'all the ones that's up in arms about it. I don't give a shit. I'm not listening. I don't feel like I missed out on nothing. I also think that a reason to not listen to it is because of his ideas. That's me. Y'all are engaging with people who say that they won't listen, not the other way around. You're not being attacked because you are of the vocal majority that...
And here's the problem with what Shawn is saying right now is that he may not be wrong, but the problem is that you can't completely discredit the people who are living that reality where they're listening to it and somebody else is shitting on them for listening to it. Right? Because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what type of situation they're in. Just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean that other people haven't either. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've experienced it, doesn't mean other people have. And if you haven't experienced it, doesn't mean other people haven't. So you got to be able to be open-minded enough to understand that just because you haven't dealt with it doesn't mean other people that you can maybe have dealt with it. Maybe like to the point where Kanye fans are down your throat saying, you should listen to it, you should listen to it. But there's probably anti-Kanye fans who are actively shitting on Kanye fans for listening to the album. Like, that makes complete sense. Why wouldn't there be? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have both sides here, bro. Come on, Shawn.
Whatever Kanye says don't mean shit to you.
Opinions on the internet, forcing it on other people. Like, nobody outside of, like, you know, showing you their opinion on Twitter has any kind of mechanism to control the things that you say or listen to. Like,
That's
how
true.
is that making you do something that you don't want to do?
What?
And nobody is even telling you that you can't listen to it. Even if someone told you that, you still can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to listen to some nigga who's telling me you can't listen to this record. If anything, that's going to force them to want to listen to it more because of contrarian shit, but...
That people shouldn't be sort of like forcing other people to, you know, what, not consume Kanye's music or whatever? Because he's saying...
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. I actually want to know this. I'm coming from a completely good place. Like, what do you think your role in this exactly? Like, what are you trying to achieve with your sort of like holding Kanye accountable and going super hard on him and his fans? What exactly are you trying to... What are you trying to get to with that?
What? What does it?
I mean, that's what he wants to know.
What is it? There's a point here. There don't even have to be a greater point. It's just I think he's wrong. Why does it have to be this deep? Why does it have to be this deep when it comes to Kanye fans? It's not that deep. I think the nigga wrong. His ideas are harmful. I don't think the music is nearly good enough as people are saying to justify those ideas.
But granted, like, Dupley isn't even answering the fucking questions. Like, let's be real. Like, he just completely skipped over the question. Like, answer the question he just asked you. Fantano just asked you a question. Answer the fucking question, dude. What are you doing?
Why does it have to be deeper than that? He's saying you going so hard. You would say this about any person if you're regular and level-headed.
I think I'm just kind of explaining the futility of just making a normal Kanye review around this record, because
I admire the fact that you called it unreviewable and you like didn't formally review the record. I admire that fact. I think that's great. I don't have a problem with that. But it's like, besides that, there was a lot of like, I saw you fighting on Twitter with with Kanye fans 24/7. Like, it was incessant. It was to an extreme degree.
Okay.
Okay.
You take bigger issue with somebody arguing with people on Twitter about the things that Kanye said that are objectively worse than those same things that they were arguing about on Twitter. What were they calling him on his Twitter? Fentanyl, they were calling him melon or bald or whatever, and he was responding to niggas that were saying that probably. I don't know. You looked at that and you were like, no, this is really what's harming society right now. A nigga on the internet using the internet to respond to other niggas on the internet. Not the nigga that has almost global reach talking about anti-Semitic shit.
He's not wrong.
This is where we're at right now.
I get what he's saying. Sean's not wrong.
This is why these conversations don't go anywhere. Because this is your perspective.
Yeah.
This is what you're upset about. You wanna police this and not the others.
That's what I said in the beginning, bro. That's what I said in the beginning. I was like, Dupley came into this without actually like having a actual argument. He just disagreed about something simple, and then he came into this been like, I don't know. I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. Like, come on, man. You gotta have some serious opinions about this if you're going to have a back and forth with an actual music reviewer. Come on, man. Like,
shit. I don't get it. I can't take you serious. I can't. This is a conversation we just can't entertain.
And I think that was kind of unproductive and kind of ended up to more attention being created around the album, where people who maybe wouldn't have listened to the record were like, "Well, what is this drama?"
I'm not under any delusion that there's anything that I could do to bring Kanye any more or any less attention.
Okay, so what is you don't have, so with you're just fighting.
He making it seem like he giving him free promo or some shit. Nigga, it's Kanye West.
Right, like it's Kanye, bro. He already has that promo from the jump. He's simply him in that regard. Like
it's fun for you.
Well, I'm definitely calling it out, and I'm definitely pointing out that the well has been poisoned to the point where doing a normal review of his stuff is pretty much futile. The reason I was fighting with Kanye fans is because
we doing Elden Ring in 5 minutes. I can't take much more of this.
Which they think is Kanye bad.
That's a fucking lie. Maybe. Hold on. That's a lie. You said 5 minutes. That's a lie.
Can't review Kanye bad. When my actual argument is that his actions and his statements and his behavior have either solidified people against him or solidified the cult of fans around him to the point where you can't really have a level-headed discussion around him and his music without being called either biased or just being looked at by people who, rightly see what he's saying and doing as disgusting and thinking like, well, even if...
Nah, I got the video playing at multiple speed or like at double speed almost. He's not actually talking that fast.
It is good to an extent. I don't want to affiliate with it. I mean, you yourself said in your video that, personally, I mean, look, I think you've come across here, even though we disagree, as, somebody who's at least approachable to an extent. I think it was kind of beneath you in your video for you to kind of like, put that section in where you were like, well, I mean, I'll listen to the album because I'm not Jewish.
So Kanye and his fans can't be held accountable? Los, I think it's even worse than that. Nobody's even holding him accountable. Nobody's even holding him to any standard. Nobody's even saying what punishment Kanye West should even receive. Nobody's saying anything.
Wait,
they not even holding Kanye accountable. They just saying this is why I'm not gonna listen.
I disagree, but I get what he's trying to say. Maybe like Shawn is saying that, but like that doesn't mean that other people aren't saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're inflating it to the point where like just because you have that opinion doesn't mean that you having that opinion does not mean that other people will have the same opinion as you. That's not how this works. You are one person with one experience. Other people have their experience and they're person. They're one person just like you are, right? So like you can't put that on somebody else, right?
This is why I think it's bad. Kanye is not exempt from a negative review.
He's not.
Kanye is not exempt from an opinion of him that is negative. Niggas just can't say nothing about Kanye. No one can do anything to make Kanye West the billionaire accountable for shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nothing.
Their stands. So those are the stands. Like, that's the thing, though. Like, that's the problem because you're inflating that these people who are shitting on people for not listening or shitting on people for critiquing Kanye are the overall fan base when that's not the case. So these are minority. These are the minority of the fan base. People nowadays just don't understand the difference between the minority, the vocal minority, and the actual majority of people. The majority of people do not give a single fuck. Let's be honest, okay? But there are the minority who are very vocal in their opinions, and they will talk about it, and they will go back and forth. They will be trolls. They will have their opinions, and they will say things, and they will shit on other people for not having the same opinion. There are always going to be people like that in every artist's fan base. It is what it is. Kanye is no different. Okay, it's just Kanye just has a bigger fan base than most artists. So it just seems like it tends to be that there's more people in that minority, but it's still the minority. They are still less than 10% of the population of the people that listen to Kanye respectively. You know what I'm saying? So like, why are we even having this conversation?
Outside of a random Twitter user you might be adding back and forth asking for a public apology to Jews, nobody's asking for him to be held accountable at all.
I disagree.
I don't even know what accountability would look like for Ye in that format. I don't know.
Just Shawn, bro, like you gotta have please, think about this shit, please, because that's just not true. Like, can you? Oh shit.
They're not asking for that. And they certainly aren't asking for his fans to be accountable for shit. Because what the fuck can y'all do?
It's not a big deal to me. I mean, I think that was kind of a super unflattering moment for you. And
yeah, I get what you were trying to say, but I wasn't necessarily talking. I mean, I was talking about myself, but I was talking about like the mentality. The point was like trying to show people the mentality of people who listen to the Kanye record. Like,
well, what I'm saying is like you understand yourself that there are people who see his comments and see the content of the record and would rightly be personally disgusted because of their Jewish background or whatever and would want to avoid it.
Yeah.
So anybody.
Yeah. At best, he's center left. He's lib trash. What the fuck? What is this comment, bro? You talking about Kanye?
You know, like I said in my video, who comes from that background would rightly look at me even saying like, hey, there's some pretty decent stuff.
Ye gets the last laugh at the end of the day? Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I want them to know.
Pretty much, he does.
Ye is still on top. He still benefits the most. Why are they missing this? He's not hurting. He is fine.
But rightly, those.
He's not wrong. He might be cooking with that. He might be cooking with that opinion. I'm not gonna lie. He might be right.
People would see that comment.
They acting like niggas is dragging him out of his mansion and beating him and stomping him or some shit like that. They preventing him from going to work or some shit. Nobody cares. I'm not saying nobody care, but like they can't do anything.
I get what he's saying. When he explains it, he makes good points. But like sometimes he just says ignorant shit and then like he doesn't explain, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But once he explains, it's like, oh, okay, I see where he's coming from.
Seems like Kanye just underwent some injustice.
Like, obviously, his commentary on my heritage and my faith are so disgusting that I wouldn't want to affiliate myself with it anyway. So it's like, you.
So, okay, let me just clarify. Are you just talking about yourself here?
Do you kind of understand how, you know, doing a normal review of this record kind of puts me in a position where I'm between two sides of people that don't really want to hear anything critical about it to begin with?
I like what you did. I'm not against what you did. I'm not like.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just asking you if you
like, dude, but just answer the question.
Sort of understand why I would feel that way.
I understand why you feel that way. That's what I started off with. I understand why you feel the way you feel, and I think it's okay for you to feel the way you feel. The question is, how do we combat that? How do we combat this issue and like come to like, I don't know, a productive solution? Like come to a compromise of sorts, and not just like continue.
He literally has the number one.
I get what Duple's trying to say. Like, why are we constantly shitting on? Why do we have to constantly like shitting on each other? Why can't we just like be like, yeah, I disagree, I agree to disagree. It is what it is, and then move on.
album, he's okay.
Yeah.
Shitting on like everybody who said anything positive about the record, and vice versa. Those people who the Kanye fans just shitting on you. You're a fucking idiot.
He's not
Bro,
wrong.
who cares? I feel like I'm just being introduced to somebody that's surprised at the way disagreements work between people that aren't face to face. Like, you are describing the internet, my boy. Like,
I mean, Dupley isn't wrong there. I get what he's saying.
I feel like you this is the kid like looking at his parents argue for the first time. Mommy, daddy, don't say that. Don't say like. Trust me, from the Kanye perspective, and from the niggas who are critiquing Kanye, they throwing insults back and forth at one another. But I don't think it's deep enough for you to look at it like you fucking Ash Ketchum running in between all the Pokemon, about to take all the heat, telling everybody to stop.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna get off their phone and they gonna stop having a conversation.
He might. Yeah. He cooking with that. He cooking with that. He cooking with that. I can. Yeah.
It's never this serious. It's like not this deep. You like
Yeah, but like, isn't it that deep though? Like, isn't it this deep? Like, I hate that thing where, people always say it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It is. It's realistically, it is that deep. It's a conversation that needs to be had, right? But people don't want to have the conversation, so they're just like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, buddy. You know what I mean? I've said it before. I've been guilty of that myself. It's they just don't want to have the conversation. So it's just like, it's not that deep, bro. Chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, it is that deep. Obviously, it's a conversation that needs to be had.
how do we change the world over a Kanye album?
I mean, any album can do that.
Over this? Come on, man. What is this? Not to say why are you so invested or anything like that. It's okay to be invested. You know what's crazy? This nigga's green screen is so good. I didn't even peep his arm was cut off right here.
Yeah,
this
that's
has
a great
been the
green screen.
greatest revelation of
If
the
all
night.
this Kanye stuff keeps up, I'm gonna have to handle it.
What are you
This has
talking
been the
about?
greatest. I didn't even peep. Like, it seems obvious when you look, but I didn't even fucking know that.
Right, I didn't.
That-
At first, I didn't notice it, but then I was like, "Wait a minute! That background, as compared to the coloring of him and the chair, compared to the background, are two completely different color palettes." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, this is a green screen, 100%. You can see like tints of green too. And it's funny. I was like, it's funny. Like, you don't notice it until he puts his arm out there. I like that.
That is impressive. I didn't peep that until just now. What the fuck?
You're not a good critic. Like,
I didn't even see his arm get cut off. I need that background.
it's both.
I need
both
a
sides of the
background.
coin are unproductive. Even though one may be more morally correct than the other, both are unproductive and eventually lead to more polarization.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
And that's my issue with this.
I think you're just.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
The reason why I made the whole video and the approach I take usually with my videos is, even though obviously I have
No, this is Jonathan Majors. Oh my god.
Oh no. Nah.
He's Jonathan Majors. He's the hat. He's stopping the two schoolgirls from fighting. This is Jonathan Majors. I see
I'm
it.
not like a fence-sitting centrist. I have a
see it.
certain ideology
I
and
get it
certain
now.
political opinions I hold. I always try meeting people in the middle, right? I want to approach my videos to a degree where like a Republican could watch it and look at it like, okay, this guy is not just like completely saying fuck you. He's actually made some good points. Maybe I should think about this a little bit, you know? And that's all I'm trying to do with my videos at the end of the day. Now,
Okay. Cool. That's great.
I can concede to the fact that a lot of my thumbnails and a lot of my titles are like inflammatory, like baity, disgusting to a degree. And yeah, that's unfortunate, but
That's how YouTube is.
fortunately, that's the best
He said that's unfortunate that I do that.
way to drive people to my content. And I feel like my content being as nuanced and as unbiased and as good faith as it is,
Imagine identifying as a centrist. What's wrong with being a centrist? Says he's not a centrist, then does a centrist thing. I mean, he didn't say he wasn't a centrist. He just said he has his own ideologies. It's just like he's trying to be. Well, he did say he wasn't a centrist. I just remembered. Yeah, he did say that. But he's pretty much acting like a centrist. Like, he's pretty much being a centrist, which I don't think being a centrist is that bad of a thing. Like, because somebody gotta do it.
Is I don't have a problem with like baiting
You're being unbiased.
people
I mean, that if that's his version of being unbiased.
into watching it when that might give them a more neutral perspective on things. Radicals from both sides. So that's how I
He's
live
being
myself at the end of the day.
unbiased.
Is he being? I don't know. I mean, like, he's like, if he tried, like, that's the thing, right? Like, Sneeko is it's a similar way when his old videos, he used to try to be as like nuanced and unbiased as possible, but it's hard to not be biased on some things, you know? And that's why I kind of like, personally, I kind of stopped being a centrist on a lot of things. There, like, I think the problem is that you can't label yourself as a centrist for everything, because you don't have to be like, there can be a topic over here that you're biased about, but there's another topic on the other side where you can be centrist about, and there's another topic that you can be unbiased about, and and biased and unbiased, and there's different topics to be different levels of bias and unbiased on. You don't have to be a full-blown biased or unbiased person. It just changes depending on the topic. That's fine. It's just human nature. I don't get the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, I mean, I'm sorry to pop your bubble here a little bit, but I mean, I'm sorry, but you personally are not unbiased in any sense.
I'm
And
saying,
you're not presenting an unbiased perspective.
Because what the fuck was this?
Okay, I take that back. I can see that.
That's not the case. And
How do you backtrack that though? I'm not saying he's right, but how does a nigga tell you no, you're wrong, and then you immediately concede?
like, come on.
Like, why are you debating this point if like
what you
Nah,
even
bro.
expressed just now is a bias of sorts, because the thing is,
nigga said no, I'm unbiased. No, you're not. Yeah, you're right. Like, what?
I take that back. I'm not unbiased. I'm not unbiased.
Okay.
Sorry to say that.
But let me finish my point. I let you finish yours.
Okay.
Even embracing centrism for centrism's sake is a bias of sorts. Just because you're landing in the middle of 2 points doesn't mean you're unbiased or that it's effectively the best option in that scenario. I mean, when you're between the polar opposite positions of...
I mean, I get it. Because technically you can be like, well, I'm unbiased. So technically you're being biased to being unbiased. But then you're just arguing semantics at that point. And it's like, well, yeah, but like, that's the point. I'm unbiased. I'm unbiased to being unbiased given to a given situation. Right? And there, you can be unbiased to any situation, but like, you know what I mean? Like, to like, realistically, to not have a bias is to basically know nothing about the situation, right? Because if you know nothing about the situation, then you can be unbiased because you don't know anything about the situation. If two people came to me and said, this other person lied to me, and the other person said, no, you lied to me first, right? I, as the person in the middle, I do not know what the fuck is going on. All I know is that these people are telling me that each other lied to each other. So in this situation, I am the unbiased one here because I don't know what's going on. But once I know what's going on, I'm obviously going to be biased to either or. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to be biased to the fact that both of y'all are dumb as fuck. Figure this shit out, hug each other out, hug it out, and live your lives together. Be cool. This is nothing to be serious about. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends after you understand the context. Once you know the context, you can't really be biased anymore. All right? But you can still be biased on topics that you know nothing about.
we should, have segregation and we should allow everybody and anybody to sort of live freely in modern society, we don't try to land somewhere in the middle of those 2 points because it makes us feel good and fuzzy inside, because we're like, well, I'm reasonable and I see the points of both sides. No, the correct position is we allow people to be free. Like,
but you saying that's the correct position is still you being biased, right? Which he's not saying he's not saying that he's not biased, and just it's just like, well, you, even if somebody was to say like, I think segregation is great, and it's like, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that person still has that opinion, even if collectively we all agree that he's wrong, right? It doesn't, he or she is wrong. It doesn't really matter because this person has that opinion. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole thing, and it's just like, I'd rather not get into the semantics of it.
Like, that's the correct position. Like, there are there are points where centrism doesn't make sense. I understand.
I'm not saying I'm a centrist. The way I'm approaching it is from a place of understanding and trying to reach every side of the spectrum. And I think that's
what it's.
That's what a centrist is. You're being a centrist, okay? That's what that is. That's the point. Trying to understand every situation, bro. Every context. Trying to understand what is the right outcome by understanding every outcome. To try to be as less biased as possible. But that does not mean that you're not biased. You're still biased, okay?
Bruh. You see what I'm saying? You can give a nigga the direct definition of what they doing, and they gonna give you the definition again verbatim, and then say, no, that's not what it is. That is what you're doing. Understanding would be unbiasedly looking at the situation and saying, at the core of this entire argument, what Kanye West is saying is wrong.
That's not unbiased, Sean. That's still being biased.
It's not even about what side you would be on traditionally. It's just, this is right and this is wrong. That would be unbiased. That's
maybe you're unbiased as to the situation, I guess, but like, you're still being biased because when you talk about it, your bias is telling you that this is wrong. But if you're saying like whether or not the album is good, you're being unbiased to the album. You're saying, well, at the end of the day, he's still wrong about the anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic stuff, I guess. But like, we're getting into semantics, and it's just like, at the end of the day, bro, like, have your own opinion. Have your own opinion, and stop letting other people tell you how to think about shit. Please, like, do your own research. Talk to people. Try to understand where your own biases come into play and where they don't, and all that stuff. Please understand yourself.
What are you talking about? You want everybody to feel good because it means something for your content. It attracts multiple groups of people. You just said it yourself. It's more of a salacious thing, more of a premeditated, I'm going to get people invested in this, more than it is I want people to fully understand everything. It's a bigger benefit to you if you don't take a strong position.
Yeah.
That's what centrists do. How are you missing it?
A lot more productive than just sticking to your side and condemning everybody who's like a little bit more close.
What I'm saying is, like, on a case-by-case basis, basis, there are some positions and points of view that point blank period are condemnable, and you don't need to sort of like see their point. And again, I'm not saying that's always the case for everything all the time. I'm just saying, especially in this case.
You're right. It's been 5 minutes. It's over. It's been 5 minutes. I can't take it anymore. I don't want to talk about Kanye ever again.
Ever.
Like, at least
I'm done.
for like 3 months, bro. Please. Like, this is just, it never goes anywhere, bro.
This is true.
I'm just.
All right. Next. All right. Try not to laugh challenge. Let's go.
Here we go.
Raps good. Alright, here we go. Try not to laugh challenge. We need to calm down after that. So let's just try not to laugh challenge. Let's just chill out. You know what I mean? Chill out a little bit. Try not to laugh.
This dude's stupid.
Thug life.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is your boy Nim, aka the Sentinel. Okay, check this thing out.
Let's go, dude.
This is based off of the new X-Men 97. It's gonna be hitting Disney Plus. Are y'all gonna be watching it? Have y'all seen the trailer for this thing? This nostalgia overload. This week in the Nim Nation, black, big up or Instagram. It's Monday, so therefore it is another try not to laugh day. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at some hilarious memes. So, without any further ado, here we go. Many heart attack I get, I don't feel these in my pocket.
Penny X.
How you put that all in your
Sonic figures?
Alright.
I feel you, dude.
Yo, whoever said that isn't gonna be there. That's what I'm saying. Stroke that thing, bro.
Stroke that thing, bro, is wild. Pediatric cardiac arrest.
Hey.
Why do you have an intro for that?
What the?
That scared me.
That's cute.
That definitely scared me.
Damn, bro has the brim.
We saw
Good.
this, didn't we? Mexico's final boss.
Excuse me. I'll give you $50,000 right now if you call somebody and they answer.
If they don't answer,
Then you don't get the money.
I can call anyone?
Yeah, you can call anyone.
Okay.
Do you want to play or not?
I already know
Okay.
who he gonna call.
Put it on speaker.
911, what's the emergency?
Guaranteed. I already knew it. How come this has never
That's kind of.
been done before? How come this is the first I've seen of this?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good
Fell
idea.
Sleep first at a sleepover. Good God. You gonna do jaw reconstructive surgery because I fell asleep?
People was born to 2 kids when they get their tax refund. Yeesh, they getting that bread.
Oh,
They getting that
oh.
bread.
You ain't never seen that much money before.
Facts.
Actually.
Let me get this straight, dumbass! You have a fully reloaded shot.
Yeah, this is real. This is very true. When they're too competitive, bro, I say, man.
Let me get this. Let me get this straight, dumbass! You have a fully reloaded shotgun.
I got a
but
couple
you
friends
chose
like
to
this.
Use a 1-bullet.
I got a couple friends.
Like, I'm just trying to have fun, bro. Why can't we just chill and play the game? Why you gotta make it so competitive, man? Shit.
It's like this. I got bored, so I started throwing random hair ties in coworkers'
Yeah,
trucks.
bad idea. You're a menace.
Bro is a
You're a
menace.
menace for that.
Oh nah, you
Yeah.
just ruined like so many relationships.
Let him cook. Let him cook now.
Hey.
Get that baby out
Let
that
him
way.
cook. I said let.
It's gotta be the most buffest baby you ever seen.
Facts.
Or a black dude.
If you don't have a toilet for your home, then you're seriously missing out.
A toilet
Facts. You need a toilet.
is the perfect addition to any bathroom. Toilets can be used for pissing and shitting in. They just kind of look cool too.
What?
And the best part is, they only go for like $200.
I've never heard of this.
I've asked me if we can afford to pay rent after my visit to the casino. We cannot. I'm sorry, I am a gambling addict.
No.
Have you ever seen lightning from a plane?
Why?
That wasn't lightning, that was Speedy Mc...
This is a toy truck, by the way. You know how I know? I mean, it's kind of obvious if you pay attention. I think this is a toy truck. If this is not a toy truck, I'm gonna be very surprised. This looks like a toy truck.
Blister. Speedy McBlister. This truck about to flip all the way over. There it goes.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it's a toy truck. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I was like, this is a toy truck.
Man, I thought that was a giant. I didn't know
video.
what I was looking at.
I love this video.
Hello, excuse me, ladies, please relax, please behave yourself. Okay, yes, one burger, please, one burger, please.
One burger. Dang.
Oh.
Not Jin Sakai.
Damn. It's abusive when they laugh too hard. Yeah.
They laugh too hard.
Facts.
What are you doing? I just cleaned the floor.
Is that why you're so happy?
Do I look happy to you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a filter. I was like, why?
Look at this guy.
Looks so weird.
Oh my god. Oh.
I'm so clumsy. Don't drop that, sir.
Almost dropped him. Whew. That would have been bad.
You're giving me anxiety.
If you could press a button that gave you $1 million, but every time you press that button, a stranger died.
Oh!
I'm pressing the fuck out of that button.
Later.
3 hours worth of button, bro. Bro
My
hates
money.
humanity.
Give me my fucking money.
Mom almost took me out the game this morning.
Yo!
Oh!
Woo. You about to start blasting, bro. Like, she been living too many different lives, bro. Nah.
Don't never sneak up on a black woman, man.
She about to start shooting.
Especially she got that pew-poo in her hand. Pew-poo. Pew-pew in her hand. Oh, I think it's time to retire that shirt. Travel
That
clean.
was clean. That was clean. That was...
How did he do that?
My money? You didn't get my money yet? No. Right?
We've been helping people escape the city on foot. It's a dangerous route to my father's
Is
lab.
that Laura Croft?
Today, we're finally on the verge
still
of
ain't
having
played
a
this
better
game.
way.
What's going on?
Here, let me buy you a drink.
But I played Half-Life Alyx, though. I played a little bit of that. Are we serious? That's what happens in the game? Girlfriend getting robbed, but it's too cold.
Ooh, it's cold out here.
Hey! Hell no. Hey.
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone,
Hey, that's
man.
a real man right there.
Leave him alone, man.
He's standing up for his girl.
Yeah, man.
Stop it.
Stop. Cold as fuck out there.
I'm not telling you shit.
Where's the gun?
I ain't telling you nothing.
You're gonna get 48 to life if you don't tell me.
Down the toilet. And you said the gun was in the glove department? Thank you very much.
Telling everything. Eating and telling everything.
This kid is not amused, bro. This kid said, fuck this, man. I hate all of y'all.
Look at his face. He does not want to be there, bro. He's in a trance. Oh!
Damn. Hey,
and get right back up. Down
right
goes
back up.
Sarah.
He said, fuck that. I'm still going.
Where are you hiding? Hey, what you talking about? I want hide. You were hiding. Man, I've been down and tied my shoe.
Facts. There's always that one coworker that ain't do shit. Sometimes that have been me. I will admit, I've done that before. Because today was too much. Today was just too much. Like, at the end of the day, today was just too much. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
When I looked up, you was gone.
You have $244.27.
You gonna cook the
worth of debt.
Okay, get him back in there.
Oh, you thought you was good.
Yeah, get him back
Go
in
ahead
there.
and cook that.
If you think I'm playing with you, I'm not.
Is that a rat tail?
When they
thought
finish
you was
cutting your
done.
hair, you bring your.
Yo, what is that? Did he spray tan that shit?
Your ass
Did he spray that shit with like, what the? Is that graffiti?
straight home.
Hell no.
I need me that right
3,
there. I need to do that
2,
myself.
1. See ya.
This is true.
Never to be seen again. Love you, boys.
What? I'm at a small town at a gas station. This white man, he said, you got a nice car to be black.
Whoa.
Not me being a nigga.
not me being a nigga. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Not me being a nigga.
Not me being a
Cat
nigga.
essentially rings doorbell so his owner can let him in.
Hey,
Why'd she
you got
say
it.
that, man?
You got it. You got it.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Scooby-Doo ass run, bro.
Bro, I can't. I don't understand these dogs, bro. Why would you want a dog like
Oh,
this?
what are you
This dog can't do shit.
doing?
Uh-oh. I'm not ready.
Oh!
Whoa!
Triple.
Oh my god, the snake.
All just because I ripped my pants.
Oh!
How did that even happen? Bro,
That's pain.
your jeans from Temu.
That's pain.
Weakest pants ever.
Holy shit.
His face.
Hey. Hey.
Hey. Okay, they got the whole band there. The driver.
Dude, you gotta get Baldur's Gate.
We can't stop playing it. You're missing out.
But we just got Diablo 4.
That's shit.
Okay.
Dude, stop what you're doing right now and get Lethal Company. It's
Oh,
so good.
I
wow.
don't really have enough money to buy anything else.
Just buy Lethal Company.
Every
because it's
other
all we're gonna
week,
do
y'all hit me up in
forever.
the DMs.
Guess
Play
I can
this
sell a
game.
few
Play this
things.
Palworld, dude, you've just got to buy Palworld. It's all you're going to play for the rest of your life, I swear on my life.
For the rest of
Otherwise,
your
we're gonna
life.
leave you in the dust.
Bro, it's bro.
You gotta get Helldivers too.
It's unbelievable, dude.
That's
we
the new
cannot
one,
stop
Helldivers.
playing that shit non-stop. It's worth every penny. No, but for real, get the game.
Yeah.
All that work and what did it get me?
Yeah.
That's what we like to see.
Bro, the back of the bus is the best place, man. Now we have the choice to choose because of Rosa Parks. I don't even know if I'm related to Rosa Parks, but we got the same last name. So that's my twin for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so fuck it.
Sit. That's where we like to sit.
Why did I do it?
We can get into a bunch of mischief back there without getting caught. Oh,
he saved the fuck out of that. Let's go, dude.
Get that man a raise.
Up at their tiny post, Ryan and his team were being pounded. Almost instantly, every one of them was wounded.
He held it in.
He held that in though. He held it in though. He did well. He did good. He did good. He held it in. He didn't laugh.
Oh.
Oh, who is this?
Oh, what the fuck? That's a demon.
Press both pedals at the same time.
Don't
at once.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I thought I was like, hey, man, how that?
Hey, yo.
I killed someone. Calling the police.
Alright, so
I mean, that's a reasonable.
I found this. I was cleaning out my garage, and